Hey everybody, this is Tim Hinton from martialartseducation.com. I'm here with Jessie Harrell. Jessie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Everybody, this is information that you can really use. Right now, band directors and parents are thinking a lot about keeping our students safe and helping them perform at the highest level possible. Well, what you eat before you go into a rehearsal or a performance is critically important. Jessie is a former nurse, certified personal trainer, and she's certified in performance nutrition. And she's a color guard person. And she's here to talk about this. So, Jessie, what information would you like people to know about eating well to help their performance?
Well, we always want to know how to eat healthy. And I think that it's really important to be aware that the nutrients that you're using on the day that you are performing or practicing, or the nutrients that you're using right now while you're sitting listening to this podcast, are actually the nutrients that you have stored from yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that. So when you're thinking about eating a meal for your performance, the preparation for this actually begins days in advance. The best thing that you can do for yourself when you're prepping for, say, it's an upcoming show weekend, especially one of these where you've perhaps traveled, you're going to have long, exhausting days. If you're in the front ensemble or percussion or really any of the bigger instruments, you're moving your equipment around a lot, you're going to be burning a lot of calories. So something that you want to do to prepare for this is consider the day in advance, eating plenty. Eating normally, not cutting calories. If it's a busy day, and this goes for directors too, if this is a busy day, consider your strategy. I'm going to make sure that I get plenty of food in this day, a good solid breakfast, good solid lunch, none of that skipping lunch the day before a big show because you're busy working on something, a good, wholesome, full dinner. You want to make sure that your calorie content is adequate, about as normal as you would have it, or even a little bit more, especially if you anticipate being busy the day of your show. So then going into your show day, oh, and also don't skimp on the carbs on these days. I'm not saying live on pizza and bread, but don't skimp on the carbs because carbohydrates break down to store glycogen in the muscle cells, which is basically the energy source that your muscles are going to pull from the next day when you're being physical and active. So you want to have your plenty of calorie meals throughout the day, and you want to make sure that you've got enough carbohydrates in that day to store for the following day. Now, the day of your show, you want to make sure, of course, that you're eating throughout the day. This is not the day to go low carb. This is not the day to go light on your food. I understand that some performers in an anxious state may not want to eat very much before the show or may not feel like eating very much throughout the day. That's understandable. If you're going to do that, make sure that you're getting some good carbs throughout your day, maybe some things that are more portable for you so that you can throw a couple bites in and go on throughout your next objective, whatever that may be. Directors, this is important for us as well. So having your granola bars, your maybe a banana, the snacks that you can grab and munch on throughout the day if you don't feel like sitting down for a big meal, because typically our event of the day is going to be later in the day, not necessarily first thing. So you want to have a nourished body when you get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I know that sometimes when I'm nervous like that and I don't feel like eating big meals or whatever, I can make myself snack all along. So I love your idea of having small little snacks. That can give you a lot of fuel over time. So preparing for that, I think, makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And of course, hydrating throughout your day too. That's easy to forget. I carry my bottle of water with me all day long to make sure that I at least have it with me. Whether I remember to drink it or not is a different thing. But having that with you so that you are prepared. Preparation is a big key factor to staying strong throughout your day. If our blood sugar does dip, for example, if we forgot to eat, we didn't have anything with us, we came underprepared, you're going to start experiencing that mentally, even if you don't recognize it. You're going to have a little bit of your mental clarity just won't be at its finest. You won't be revving on all cylinders. And that makes just one more obstacle in an already challenging day. So whatever you can do to prepare yourself all throughout is going to keep you strong throughout your contest day. Now, if you are a performer and you have a long rehearsal day, I highly, highly encourage bringing snacks and having snacks with you, especially if you're going on more than an hour of activity at a time, so that you can have things that you're munching on to replenish, because as those muscles are working, they're burning off the stores that you have from yesterday. And as those stores are burned off, we want to try to replenish them to at least maintain a solid energy level throughout your rehearsals and your performance if it's a longer rehearsal into performance day. So the more activity that you have, the more preparation and snacks you should have with you.
So we're going to be back in the next segment to talk to Jessie again about hydration because it's so important. You can find out more from Jessie at fittomarch.com or find Fit to March on Instagram. And there's also webinars and podcasts with her at Marching Arts Education. Jessie, thanks so much for talking with me.
Thanks for having me.